Hey, everybody. I'm Coach Perrone, Vince D'Alicio from the Varsity Sports Show. We are back. A little pregame to this week. Vince, man, I don't know who makes these schedules, but it's always like there's 5, 6, 7 amazing games, and we can't be in them all. So, you and I figured, let's try to cover a few of them here and get it out to the listening public, right?
I agree.
You got a big game tonight. Tell us about the Thursday night game.
Well, Thursday night game features two, again, really good teams. We've got Horizon hosting Apollo. Horizon's undefeated. Apollo's coming in with 1 loss. Both teams are outstanding. I mean, it's going to be a clash for the ages. So,
guys, you have to tune in on the channel. If you need it, message me, NFHS. Seriously, Thursday Night Football's been awesome. You guys are doing a great job. Hey, let's kick things off tonight. I'm going to throw them out at you, all right?
All right, good.
We have one, and the reason I picked this game, we'll get into it. I have 1 and 3 O'Connor versus 4-0 Highland. Okay? I just want to start out by throwing, I'm not a numbers guy. Chris Eaton over at Gridiron, Arizona is the best numbers guy I've seen. I don't plan to know these things, but the one thing I do know is that with this game against Highland, the combined record against the teams O'Connor has played is 21-2, I believe. In 5 games they'll be. So Highland 4-0, Chandler 4-0, Basha 5-0, and they just lost last week to Chaparral 3-1. So those 4 teams right there, 14-1. And they were in the lead against Basha at the half. They were in the lead against Chandler at the half. Is this a really good O'Connor team, Vince, that really just has had possibly the toughest schedule ever?
Well, it is. A lot of it is strength of schedule. Last week I had picked O'Connor to beat Chaparral, but it's about the finish. You got to get the finish. And right now they're sitting at 1 and 3. They're going to be playing a Highland team that's undefeated that has beat some pretty good teams. And, you got some playoff teams in there, Boulder Creek, Pinnacle, Desert Ridge, and a pretty solid Desert Vista team last week, an average Desert Vista team. But it's about the finish. And O'Connor is 1 and 3 right now.
So I don't know if anybody had a chance to see the start of the Chaparral game, but O'Connor forces a turnover. First play, they go right down 1st and goal. So they're about to start this game out with a bang. Shap's defense holds, forces a field goal attempt. They block the field goal and return it 90 yards for a touchdown. Total swing of the game. I'm very interested to see what happens with O'Connor when they do get into region play. Because, O'Connor, even if they lose this game, and I don't want to say right now they're going to lose this game, they're 1 and 4 with the possibility of just running the region table and finishing 6 and 4 and making the playoffs. Because this team is, we know about the linebackers. We've had that conversation. Ware and Craddock, of course. Ethan Young threw a touchdown from quarterback on a trick play last week. Jay Snyder has kind of, been the guy, but Aiden Simonton on the old line. There's players on this O'Connor team, and I don't know. Well coached, Brian Cole, Bolus. Good God. I don't know. I gotta say this. I was told from a reliable, I'll tell, Scott Craddock, a friend of both of ours. He watches a lot of film on these guys. He told me he believes Highland might be the best coached team in the state. They were the best coached team last year. He believes they're probably going to be the best coach team this year, and that's a guy I don't give too much respect. They got a tight end over there in Jace Patton, Division I caliber kid. Deep Kyle Wright, Division I tight end in Swoboda. You know, I think Highlands might have a little bit too much firepower, but I think it's a matter of time also before O'Connor breaks out. I've been picking against O'Connor, and I've been right, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take Highland.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree there on this week. You know, again, it's about the finish. O'Connor, given them much respect, they've played an extremely strong schedule, but you got to get the wins. And sitting at 1-3 right now, and they could very well, like you said, run the table in region. But until then, they're going to face a really, really tough, state finalist team from last year.
I mean, Highland is probably going to be an open team.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince, it blows my mind. Who put this schedule together for these guys? Yeah. They lost to Basha, open team. Chaparral, open team. Chandler, open team. Highland, open. I mean, these guys really were set up with Murderers Row. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. You gotta beat the teams in front of you, you know? So, all right, let's go out east. This is a great game. 4-0 Mesa Mountain View against 4-1 Red Mountain. Now, I know you've seen probably a lot more of Red Mountain than I have. They got some players out there. They're a very well-coached team, but this Mesa Mountain View team with Joe Germain taking over, firing on all cylinders right now. They've got 3 offensive linemen that are legit. Frisch, Candielli, Siri, and Trost. Quarterback Willie Roberts is a run and gun, dude, he gets it done. All I do is win, 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 baby. Win, 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 Willie Roberts. This is a great football team. Great coaching, great football team. Over to Red Mountain. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think, in like you said, and both teams are great coach teams. They both have had average opponents prior to this week. Mountain View is 4-0, Red Mountain's 4-1. You've got an alum at Mountain View that's coaching that team to an undefeated season so far. I can't see Red Mountain getting over the hump on this game. I think this is going to be Mountain View all the way.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Villanueva at running back. They got a great defensive lineman. I spoke before about Jaden Hurst. I think there's way too much Mesa Mountain View in this one. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to take the Toros, not in a landslide, but in a W. So I'm sure that'll bring a lot of I'm sure Coach Lawson will give me a call. He's a good friend of mine. Hey, his son is also another player over there. Boy, I'll tell you, he's going to be special. He is special. What the hell am I saying? All right. Here's a real good matchup that probably nobody expected us to highlight. 3-1 Cesar Chavez against 3-2 Mountain Point. Now, I want to say this. Cesar Chavez was gutted. I mean, gutted with transfers. I got with Coach Chipley, who I absolutely love, one of my favorite coaches. And he says, hey, I came out there, I talked to those guys, he talked to them. They listen, this is our family. We're going to win with what we got. Off to a 3-1 start. Damian Scott, DB, who is legit. You're going to start seeing some offers on him soon. Christopher Madden. I love the last name because this guy does some Madden type crap, man. He's like a video game. Boozer. There are some dudes at Chavez, and they are bought into Chipley's system. Mountain Point on the other side. Some dudes over there too. Terrion Rowe, Amir Boyd Matthews, Arviso. I mean, there's so many. This might be the game of the week, Vince, and you'll love this. That has literally the best. I mean, there's so many great athletes in this game. If I'm a college coach, this is one of the ones I want to go see right here.
Well, I agree with you. And what's ironic is that there could very well be just as many kids on the Mountain Point roster that live within the Chavez attendance zone. And, you know, when I coached at South Mountain years back, and I know that you had spent some time there too, the Tempe district had kids that would come from South Phoenix around the mountain into Ahwatukee to Mountain Point. So a lot of these kids know each other. But like you said, Chavez was gutted, you know, and Chavez was gutted last year. They got a new coach. You know, they lost their coach, they lost players. The fact that they're 3-1 right now is very respectable. But you've got a Mountain Point team with early season wins over Corona and Brophy. Last week they traveled down to Tucson and very convincingly beat Buena. I got to go with Mountain Point on this one.
Oh boy, you bring up a lot of great points. I honestly, like I said, Rowe and Matthews and those guys and they're talented. They're a very well coached team. I think Chipley's going to have these guys playing on another level for this one. I think he's going to utilize exactly what you said. There's guys on that team that didn't want to stay here maybe and motivate. I think this is a better team than everybody thinks. I really do. I'm going to take Cesar Chavez, and we're gonna have a little difference of opinion in this one.
All right. I can respect that. Sure.
Game of the week.
Okay.
Everybody knows about it. Everybody's talked about it. Look, there's been a lot of controversy on it already. We're going to have to talk about this one a little bit. Desert Edge at Cactus. 4-1 Desert Edge. Lost by 1 point to Horizon. They missed 5 extra points. They were 8-0 last year. They made the Open. A 5-0 Cactus team that I watched in awe play Sunrise Mountain. No questions asked. Okay, this is game of the week. 2 of the best sets of coaches you're going to find in the Valley. Hands down, Carter Brothers with their supporting staff. I'm a huge, like I've said before, Coach Ortiz fan. Look, this is going to be a dogfight from whistle to whistle. But I've really broke this game down, okay? And I'm going to just talk just briefly. I know I run my mouth a lot, but just want to talk briefly, okay? I'm a huge Coach Ortiz fan. There's nothing more this man has wanted than to win a ring, okay? If he does beat Desert Edge and runs the table, he's 10-0. He's making the Open. He knows that, okay? I've heard some people out there say, maybe Ortiz is going to throw. Let me tell you something. If you know Coach Ortiz, he ain't throwing nothing. This is one of the most competitive guys you'll find on the market. He's going after this one like it is the Super Bowl, okay? The thing I want to point out is Desert Edge in 2 seasons is currently 12-1, and with the Chandler loss, 12-2. I mean, Cactus, same. You got a 5A team, you got a 4A team. Multiple Division I talent on Cactus, multiple upon multiple Division I talent over at Desert Edge, right? So far, I'm on point. I think the lack of depth on the Cactus roster could prove to be the difference in this. Desert Edge is too deep at a lot of key positions. Now, Cactus's supporting staff is no doubt the real deal. This is going to be right down to the number, and I think Desert Edge's depth, and I had the Carters on the podcast, and we talked about it. Whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, you'll agree with this. You're a coach. Whoever makes the least amount of mistakes in this one wins the game, right?
Yeah, I looked over the schedules, and Cactus obviously with victories over 2 state champions from last year, Mesquite, who they avenged that loss, and
Sunrise,
and Sunrise Mountain. But those aren't the same teams that they were last year.
No,
we had a Thursday night game with featuring Mesquite and Apache Junction, and Mesquite escaped with an 8-point win, and it's just not the same. And Cactus hasn't faced anything like Desert Edge this year, and I ultimately think that Desert Edge is going to win this game as well because they're just too deep. The talent pool is just too strong, but Cactus will give them a run for their money, but I think ultimately this is going to be Desert Edge's game.
I started out in this one after watching what I saw. I'm bought into that Sunrise Mountain team. Quarterback Cronengold is a dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some guys on that team. The tight end is a D1 tight end in Hart. I mean, this Cactus team walked into Sunrise Mountain and I was there. And Ortiz took his foot off the gas, and it was 50-7. So this Cactus team has that ability, but I just think, and then throw on top of this, Vince, let me just throw this out there. Members of the Arizona media has said that Cactus is a 10-point favorite in this. And if you know the Carters, that's playing in the locker room on the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is give a Washington State commit quarterback who is about to set the all-time touchdown record ammunition. I mean, Gavin Brocious, Michigan State offensive lineman. I mean, jeez. This is going to be a dogfight. And boy, I didn't want to pick this one. It's going to come down to the fewest amount of turnovers, but I honestly think Desert Edge is deeper. Like you said, I think this is a really tough matchup for Cactus, but I will say this. Can Ortiz and this crew pull this thing off? Absolutely. And Coach Ortiz, you win this one. Welcome to the Open, brother, because there ain't no doubt you're headed there. And you deserve to be there. Maybe as a 4 or 5 seed. So I want to wish both coaching staffs luck. I love both guys. I love both sets of kids. It's going to be a great one. We're going to close with a little something different, Vince. We're going to do a little shotgun pick. I'm not going to tell you the games. I'm going to throw some games out there, and I'm going to have you pick. We're not going to break them down. You're going to say who you think. Okay. I'm going to say who I think. Ready?
Ready.
Williamsfield Centennial.
Williamsfield.
Agreed. Brophy, Boulder Creek.
Boulder Creek.
I'm going to go with Brophy.
Ooh.
Hamilton, Chaparral.
Got to go with Hamilton.
Absolutely not. Braden Silbor, the hottest quarterback in the country. I'm taking shot. Castile, Queen Creek.
Go. Queen Creek.
Absolutely, Queen Creek. Big fan of the coaching staff and the players. I'm Queen Creek all the way. Last but not least, Carl Hayden, Deer Valley.
Ooh, well, we featured Carl Hayden Alhambra last week. Carl Hayden looked, and you won't hear this that often, Carl Hayden looked really, really good. So I'm going to go Carl Hayden.
I'm going to go Carl Hayden too. I got some guys at Deer Valley, West, Hill, Marquez, great players over at Deer Valley. But dude, let me tell you something right now. They got the sack master, the state's leading player in sacks in Jordan Talbert. And they have a sophomore running back that if you have not seen Pride yet, just got a Division I offer from Tyrone Wheatley over at Morgan State. Going down to U of A to visit U of A for the UCLA game. Scotty Graham loves what he sees out of him. Dude, he is a bona fide superstar at running back at Carl Hayden.
Well, they got a quarterback that can run too. He's not a very big kid. His name escapes me right now, but he's a young guy and he can run. So
we're both gonna go with Carl Hayden in this one. Hey, for the Varsity Sports Show and Vince DeLisio and Coach Perrone and my recruits, we're gonna sign off. Enjoy the Thursday night game tonight and Friday night football. Vince, I will be down at Wildcat U.
Oh boy!
On Saturday, I know you love that. Look at that! Hey guys, we got it right there.
There's a cool.
All right. Hey, best of luck to everyone.
Yep.
Vince and Coach Perrone signing out.